So I wish us a really interesting webinar. Enjoy and have a good time. Thank you. And I will hand over to Mareike, please.
Yes, thank you very much. Let me share my screen and let's start. And I will change into presenter mode. Just give me a quick heads up if you see everything nicely.
Yeah, yes, everything okay.
Perfect. All right. So let's start. As already said, I would like to focus with you on the topic of marketplaces in Germany. How can I scale there? But most importantly, how can I make sure that all the customers which are on those different marketplaces actually see our products? Just a quick one for those who have not been there last week. My name, as I said, is Mareike. I'm the founder of LIEVD UP, working also with Ecom Consulting. I define myself as a marketplace expert, and as an ex-Amazonian, I'm maybe a little bit biased on one specific marketplace, but the world is not only Amazon. There's loads of more things. I'm focusing on direct brands, so not too much onto reselling because the opportunities are limited there. But direct brands, they have like the right time right now and the right things they can do at the moment. It doesn't matter if you're existing or if you're in the founding period right now, there's always like a way to go forward. For those who have been there last week, you have seen this slide already. So during our webinar last week, we went through the different marketplaces, which ones are the right ones for me with my brand, what can I do? And I promised you that today we will have a focus on the remaining yellow parts, which is marketing and branding. So I'm also looking very much forward to the second part of today to hear something else about branding. And I also will talk a little bit about scaling across the EU, because it's super easy with some marketplaces to not just bring your product to Germany, for example, but also to open up for other countries the marketplace is offering. And I will bring a little teaser, but I said it's only a teaser on social commerce due to the time limitations, but it's a great tool to not just boost marketplace traffic, but also your own website. So let's start with the marketing and the branding on the different marketplaces. And before going into one specific marketplace, I want to take a view on the perspective of the marketplace, because I think it very much helps if we understand what is the logic, what is the thinking of a marketplace, because if we understand their goal, their vision, their procedures, this is helping us as a seller extremely to understand how we can use that for our best profit. So what you see on this slide here is an overview of how it goes. So it doesn't matter on what marketplace you are. It doesn't matter if it's Amazon, Zalando, About You. In theory, it's all the same. It all starts with a customer or a potential customer. So a customer who opens up the marketplace page, however he gets there, doesn't matter. So he or she is at Amazon.de, at Zalando, and so on. And a customer who gets there has a specific need. So either they really want to buy something specific. So they say, hey, I need to have a new cream for my face. I need to have a new water bottle. I need to have a new pair of shoes because I will go out this evening, or let's say not this evening, it's very quick, but tomorrow, and I want to have a new pair of shoes. So they all hit the search function. And the search function will be different. So sometimes, for example, if we take Amazon, you can go very specific, but there are also marketplaces like About You, for example, which are strongly focusing also on discovery. So the customer is not only typing in, hey, I want to have a pair of shoes, but they see like, hey, look at this great new outfits. Look and get inspired by this and this influencer. So, but anyhow, however or whichever way I'm following on the marketplace, there will be the third step where I get results. So the marketplace is offering me potential products that I could buy with the goal of fitting the need that I have intrinsically. So, and that's also the goal. We go on a later step on is also why they do it. But if I'm on the customer now, I hit my search in or I got discovered, I get an offer of different products which could help me, and I will click on one of those offers to get to the product detail page. The product detail page is now the point where I as a seller, you as a brand, can present yourself. So this is the opportunity where you can tell the customer like, hey, this is the reason why you should buy my product. This is the reason why you should buy this face cream and not any other. So it's similar compared also to when you talk to a customer, you tell them like, hey, this is the USP, this is what we do, this is the great things that you get when buying that, to hopefully come to the final step where we have a purchase. So going from left to right, you see that we go from, we have traffic at the marketplace. The traffic can turn into a lead because we can see, okay, we have the right product to help this person. So it is a potential customer. And if we guide the potential customer right through this funnel, then this potential customer is turning to a customer, which means he or she will buy something from us. So we generate revenue. This also means on the purchase, of course, for us as a seller, it's super interesting to sell something because that's our meaning, right? We produce products, we get products, and we want to sell them. But also the marketplace, of course, has an interest that we as a seller generate the purchase. Because if we generate the purchase, of course, we as a seller get money. I mean, that's the obvious thing. But most of the marketplaces also work with a commission fee. So that means every time when you sell something, the marketplace is getting part of it. So of course, the marketplace also has an interest of turning into sales, of coming from traffic to customers. This traffic to customer, I brought you this one here, which is the Amazon flywheel. This is now for Amazon, but you can use it for all other marketplaces. You can use it for your own web shop as well, because what we see here is like the logic behind a marketplace and how it's set up. So if you take this chart here, which was sketched by Jeff Bezos in the very beginning, he said, okay, we want to have a marketplace which has a great customer experience. How do we get a great customer experience? A customer is happy when they have a lot of selection. So you see I'm going backwards now. That means, okay, if I come to a marketplace and I can choose between different products and I'm for sure finding the product that I would potentially need, of course, I'm more happy. If I'm more happy, I will come back. My friends will come back, my neighbors come back, and so on and so on. This is how more and more traffic is generated by a marketplace. If you transfer this to you as a brand, to you as a seller, that also means that we are interested in marketplaces where there is traffic, because nobody goes into a street where no customers come. So if we get new sellers, also your competition is maybe coming, we get more selection, and so on and so on. So what the marketplace wants to have, and I don't go too much in detail on this one because we talked about it last week, is that this flywheel is spinning quicker and quicker and quicker. So we have more sellers, we have more selection, we have a better price compare structure. The customer is getting happier, and bringing a lot of friends, neighbors, and so on. And this is how a marketplace is growing. However, a marketplace is also having a look on, okay, what is the best selection that I can offer my customer? Because maybe I'm searching for an umbrella, and then Amazon is showing me, or Zalando, About You is showing me a rain jacket, but I don't want to have a rain jacket because I want to have an umbrella. So they need to understand, the marketplaces, they need to understand what is it actually that my customer, my potential customer would like to have, and then checking, okay, on this, what you would like to have, I give you products which could suit that. And you see this in this next slide here. So if we go on the same procedure as you had earlier, so the customer is at the marketplace, hits the search function anyhow, and gets a result. And in this few seconds between customer says, hey, this is what I want to have, in whatever way, let's say in a search term, for example, and then the marketplace is presenting me a potential offer list. This is where the marketplace wants to bring us the most promising products, those products which have the highest chance to turn into a conversion. Which means if, let's say I'm selling an umbrella, if I'm very, very efficient, and every time when the potential customer hits the search term, umbrella black XXL, because I want to have a very big umbrella, and I would like it to be like not super crazy color. Let's go just unicolor. And the marketplace is understanding, okay, if the customer is always searching for this term, and I offer this product, the conversion rate is very, very high. As higher the conversion rate, as higher the chance that the marketplace will put me into the search result list for this specific search term, or for this search term category. Which means we need to tell the algorithm, so we need to tell the marketplaces, what is it that we can do? So what is it, which need can we support by the product that we are offering, to ensure that, if you go like back in the earlier slides that I just showed you, to ensure that the marketplaces is making the right decision, to showing the right products to the potential customer, to increasing the chance of a purchase, because at the end it's all about selling something. If we take this logic now to the next level, we can already find like the first to-dos to ensure that we have good visibility, to ensure that we really put our product up high, because, and that's what I said last week as well, and I just want to reinstate, it's super important. It doesn't matter how great your product is. Yes, it needs to be great, that it's out of question. But just because it's great, just because you list your product on marketplace A, B, or C, it doesn't mean that you are like top page. And really go into yourself, remember, okay, when was the last time I bought something online, on the phone or on the desktop? And how far did you go through? Did you shop on the first page, second page? Maybe you even went to the third page, but let's be honest, that's when it stops. Nobody is going to the fourth, fifth, and 10th, and I don't know what. And as you know, there's a lot of selection. It is important that we need to get up top. So what you see here is like taking again the same logic behind it. Okay, search function. We need to understand what are the relevant search requests that customers or potential customers have on the product that I'm selling. And this goes into marketing, because if I understand what the customer is entering to find my product, then I will make sure that I'm selling on exactly those keywords. And this is not rocket science. It's quick, it's dynamic, it's changing, but it's very easily compared to, I'm not sure, you have to obviously all tried Google AdWords in the past, and you saw how it works. Okay, I have a cost per click and so on. We go deeper in this in a second. But to make a good cost per click system, or to have a good AdWords system, we need to understand what are those search terms in case to ensure that I can display on those right products. Not just search requests are a topic, you can even go broader now. So by now it's not just about, hey, I'm searching for the umbrella which is black in size XXL, but I want to see everything which is in the category of X. I want to retarget my product maybe on products of my competitors. So there are crazy things happening there. And as I said, it's super dynamic and super quick. So what is true today can already be old school tomorrow. So also emphasizing here, doing marketing on marketplaces, there is a lot of potentials, and we will dive in a second into the different marketplaces. I picked a few to show you what they offer already, but you really need to make sure that you have the resources and really stay on the topic to see, okay, what's going on, because there's always new things coming. When we are now on the search result list, we said, okay, we want to have the visibility on page 1 to 2, sorry, not 1 to 10, on the first 2 pages. So meaning, okay, we want to have the organic ranking as well as the ranking which is pushed by advertisement. And please keep this also in mind. Ranking which is done by advertisement is not a bad thing, but it also helps you long term. Because if I go back in this slide, we said, okay, we want to feed the algorithm to tell the marketplace, I have a product which is helping you convert the customer. Which means if I manage by AdWords driven that I'm like ranked top, I'm very much selling in a specific time period, that means long term that I'm feeding the algorithm. The marketplace understands like, hey, this product is very good on request A, B, or C. So that means that by AdWords, also my organic ranking is growing. That doesn't grow there that you stop completely with advertisement. Should not, because there are always other people doing that. So you need to keep your position dominant, but your advertisement spend is getting smarter and smarter, because you can take loads of learnings from the marketplaces to know, okay, what is good, what is bad, and to make sure that you only feed the good ones. So those things where you get sales, reduce your costs on AdWords, and so on and so on. So, and when we get the customer to the product detail page, this is not where marketing stops. And it's also different per marketplace, but especially those marketplaces which are already a little bit more experienced, like Amazon, for example, that's where the real story starts again, because you did a great job getting the potential customer to your product detail page. Now we need to make sure that we are not losing him or her there, but to really convert him into the purchase. And on the product detail page, there are a lot of things that we can do as well to tell the story to the customer or potential customer, to ensure that he or she understands why it's the right decision to buy this product. Like you saw last time, there are very, very, very high number of different marketplaces. And the important thing, that's why I brought the slide again, is that we need to really fulfill the different requirements. So each marketplace has different requirements. And after you made a decision, okay, I want to go with marketplace A, B, C, and D, it's really important to understand, okay, what is it that those marketplaces need from me? And then also understand and master the tools that those 4 marketplaces are offering me to do a great job. It's different, and you remember the slide obviously as well. As I said, you can go directly from a brand and position yourself on the marketplace. So you are the one bringing the listings there, for example, with Plenty Markets or JTL. On the lower level, you also see that you can put a service provider in between. So it's you, the service provider, bringing your products to the marketplace, which is also a great advantage. But you always need to make sure, okay, how can I use these different marketing opportunities when playing with the different service providers? What can I do when I do it myself? Do I have resources to do it? Do I have the time to do it? Do I have the time to keep up on the topic as well, etc.? Or if I'm with the service provider, do they have the resources internally? Do they work with additional tools behind it to make this big? How do they scale? So it's very important to keep this in the back of your mind when deciding on how you proceed. So when talking to the different service providers, always check out like, hey, what is it that you can offer me? Is it listing my products? Is it boosting my products? How can you help my visibility? And so on, so that you really make sure, okay, which one is the right one. Let's start from the general perspective, because as I said, we need to feed the algorithm. So to make sure that the algorithm is understanding my product. And what is super important as well, we need to build attractive product detail pages to ensure that when we get the customer to our page, that the purchase can happen. And always feed it back in the days when we were in offline. Remember, always you have a store. You want to make sure when the customer is entering your store that they have a great experience in there, with great products, great lights, great, I don't know what, everything that is helping you to have a great purchase experience. On the one side, it's the keywords that I said earlier, which help the algorithm to understand your product. And the keywords we need to get by understanding what is it that our customers are searching. During the last webinar, I showed you some tools. So for example, with Amazon, we have a lot of tools, Helium 10, Analyze, where I can go into research to understand what are the right keywords. With a marketplace like Otto, for example, or real.de, we do not have the details yet. And that's okay, but there you can also go in the customer perspective to see what is it that they are typing in. And when you get those keywords, we need to feed them not just in the backlog. So you always have a feed like, hey, tell me what are your keywords, and that's a limit of, I don't know, 250 bytes most of the time. But you can also build this keywords into your product detail page. And this is again where we need to check, okay, what am I allowed to do? So if we take, for example, the title, each marketplace has a different requirements on the title. Some say, hey, you're allowed to have 250 bytes. Others say you are allowed to have 100 bytes. It really depends. And it also depends per category. And then you need to double check to make sure, okay, I need to fulfill the criteria on the title that the marketplace is giving me compared to the house rules. So what's the house rule of the marketplace? And then playing smart on this house rule to really tell the algorithm like, hey, I am selling an umbrella. I am selling an umbrella which is black, and I'm selling an umbrella which is black and has the size XXL, for example, or I don't know, for 2 persons. Next to that, we also have patterns in the marketplace, because the marketplaces also, they build themselves great tools to ensure that they get this information from us as a brand, from us as a seller. So they directly already build patterns, for example, on the color. So they say, okay, on the category, let's go with fashion now. On the category fashion, we have a subcategory which is for trousers. And then they ask us, okay, on the subcategory for trousers, I give you different color options. So your trouser could be black, blue, white, red, I don't know. And they tell us and ask us, hey, please link your color with the pattern that I offer you. So if I have a red trouser, I will obviously choose the color red as the color match, which is the marketplace offering me. Because this is very important to ensure that the system is feeding the right information into the marketplace, so that the marketplace is giving me the right customer needs again. Just imagine we do that wrong. Let's say I have a green trouser and I do the pattern red. What happens? We have a customer searching, oh, I want to have a trouser which is red. And then it can happen that the marketplace thinks like, oh yeah, I have somebody, and I show them the trouser and I get a green trouser. Nobody likes it. The marketplace doesn't like it. The customer obviously don't like it. And we as a seller don't like it either, because we get presented to the wrong customers or to the wrong potential customers. So it's super important that we feed this information correctly into the marketplaces. And if you go back to the slide that you saw here, there are different tools, and you also tools that you can do yourself, where you already can have like this matching, because always remember, you are not the first ones doing that. And we have the great advantage that things are already built, that structures are built, and different tools, they already know, okay, there is an Amazon and they match color like that. There's an Zalando and they have that and that requirements. So they can easily link that. And as I said, double check always, how can I individualize my content per marketplace? Either if you go with the first line, like doing it yourself, also if you go with the second line with a service provider, double check, okay, what are the opportunities that I can have an Amazon specific title, that I can have an Otto specific title, and so on, to really make sure that you can feed this information that you're preparing, because you understood the house rule of the marketplace, you know how to play the house rule of the marketplace, that you also make sure that you can feed it in a scalable way into the system. And with this one, I picked a few marketplaces as promised. So I took Zalando, About You, Amazon, Otto, and real.de, 5 marketplaces, to go a little bit into the topic of what kind of marketing tools do we have there that we as a brand can use. And I would love to start with Zalando on this one. And this is great. So Zalando is doing a lot and is offering great opportunities that you can visualize yourself, that you can get attention from your potential customers. They have a specific department, it's called the Zalando Marketing Services, ZMS. Don't mix it up with ZFS, which is a fulfillment service. And the marketing service, as you see here, is really like a 360-degree offer to help you visualize your brand. So they're very much into brands. They're very much into like, what is the story behind your brand, so that they feed you as like, hey, this is not an underwear, but this is the brand of Friends, for example. The minimum invest on Zalando is pretty high. It's 10K, but they give you different opportunities on which tools and advertisement you would like to use. So they have, for example, teasers, ads placement, and you have also the examples down there where how it looks in the app, in the newsletter, or on the desktop version as well. But they don't stop within their marketplace. They also go out of the marketplace to bring external traffic to the marketplace. So for example, you could say like, hey, I want to work with ZMS and I want to use the opportunity of social media, and they help you to generate ads on, for example, Instagram, to get customers or potential customers which are on Instagram. They see an ad from Zalando, and this ad is featuring the brand of Friends, for example. And going from there, they click, get to Zalando, see the product, they like it, they buy it. And it's crazy. But as I said, it's not stopping there as well. Next to social media, they also have external traffic generated within the web to help you also, not just from the social network, but also from other pages, to generate traffic coming to Zalando, coming to your products. This can look like this then. So here's just a few examples. So you have different partner tools, and they are in a quick speed bringing up new content here. So as you can see, for example, the brand home, which is on the right hand side as well, you have the opportunity by now on Zalando to present yourself as a brand. So it's like your web shop, but within Zalando. So you can tell them like, hey, I brought the example of North Face here. This is this is how we position ourselves. These are our norms. These are our values. This is what we stand for, or maybe also this is what we not stand for. Those are my products, and so on and so on. Sponsored products on the left hand side, you can see it, is very much comparable to Google AdWords or to PPC on Amazon, where you go into the listing in the search result saying, okay, if the customer is searching for ABC, please make sure that I am first there. I was just reading an article the other day where it was on Amazon where they said, okay, 50% of the things that you see on Amazon as a customer are ads. And those advertisement is there to catch the right customer from us as a seller perspective, but also for the marketplaces to ensure a conversion. And I mean, it's not a secret. A marketplace is of course also earning money with the AdWords that we are spending there as a seller. Similar to Zalando, we also have the About You world, because About You, it's also fashion, but it's different. Because if we take About You as a marketplace, here we don't have the thing anymore that the customer comes and says, hey, I need a trouser which is red for, I don't know, a party this weekend. Let's hope we can go back to parties anyhow. But an About You, it's more like, hey, I would like to have a nice outfit. And customers which are on About You, they are like checking around, they see different outfits, they see different inspirations, and then they don't buy the trouser in red, but they buy everything which is behind the brand. So the opportunity of marketing potentials on About You is really, really big. And similar to ZMS, they also give you the opportunity to help you creating that. So you can see it on the bottom right. They have this brand relations team, and they are helping in different areas. And I think that's a great thing, because especially on direct brands, I don't know that many brands that say like, hey, no problem, Mareike, I have a big marketing team in my company and they driving all our ads. That's very, very seldom. So it's great that marketplaces are offering the service to us, so that even though you do not have a big marketing team, or even though you may be like in your first step at the moment and you have maybe not the resources or maybe not even the knowledge on marketing, it's fine, because the marketplace knows it and they can do that on your behalf. And you see it here with the About You brand relations team. They have different areas. So for example, content team. A good AdWord starts with good content. It doesn't help if you tell customers like, hey, I'm here and I have a product for you, but the thing that you're showing is like not attractive, not conversion promising. And probably we'll go into this topic later as well. The conversion is super important, and it's important what you tell the people. So it needs to be within your style, for example. It needs also to fit the thing that you're showing them. So let's assume I show you something like, hey, I have a great trouser for you. And then you get on my product detail page and I show you a t-shirt. That doesn't work, because I got the attention, grabbed the customer to follow me. But then when he arrives there where I want him to be, he realized like, no, that's not what you promised me. And this is like really misleading. This is costing you a lot of money, which we do not want. So the content itself is very important to ensure that you give the right message to your potential customer, to grab the right customers to follow you on the way. About You, as I said, is a lot of on discovering, and there is a lot of influencer marketing happening. So you see they have a specific team also on influencers, which help you in the conception, in the collaboration, outfit shootings, for example. I mean, there's a lot happening. And also with the media team, similar, same here. Also, they help in the conception. They help you building the planning of, okay, when are we doing what? Because as I said, it's a big thing. In the end, the goal should always be to drive the awareness for your brand. So it's not just pushing a trouser, but it's pushing like all the brands behind it, so that people really, and this is the good thing, because people build a brand awareness, and long term, they don't search anymore for a pair of socks, but they search, for example, for the brand of friends. So you see here some examples, going from the trending brand, where About You is showing you, hey, this is a trending brand which is fitting the search term of, or which is fitting your interest of a trouser, for example. You also have the brand story long. So this is like a lot of information. Here you can see the example of edited, where you can represent yourself, and represent yourself a lot with visuals. Because yes, we all know that we can read, but we all know that nobody does it anymore. So when we are on About You, on Instagram, on I don't know what on our screen, we are like always do like the swiping. I mean, we even do it with dating nowadays. So nobody is reading what is it that you look for, what is it that you offer. Now we want to be visualized, and the cool thing is that we can do a lot nowadays with pictures, with videos, even like a really animated content, which is helping to get the customers not just attention, but also to building up this awareness. You can also see here the Facebook content. So this is when the marketplace is getting external traffic to the marketplace. And here saying in the example of edited, so that you are on the newsfeed, for example, you see the product. Hey, this is great. I would love to have this jumper or this pair of shoes, which is below. Click on it, and you get to the right product detail page on About You, or to the right brand store, for example. As I said, About You is super strong in influencer marketing, and they take, I'm not sure, do you even call it celebrities anymore? I'm not sure. Let's say they call it influencers. Sorry. Let's say they take the influencers which are trending, and people follow other people who are trending. And if, for example, you see it here, Alina Gerkes tells you like, hey, I have a new jumper and this is amazing. You should really get this jumper because it's great when you're at home and you, I don't know, have a dinner. It's super relaxing and feels great on my skin. Then all the people following Lena, they say like, great, I want to have this jumper. So what do? They follow that, get to About You, buy the jumper. The target group, as I said in the last webinar, is obviously different on different marketplaces. About You is more on young digital people, so that fits very well also in their marketing opportunities or on the marketing tools that they are offering us. Plus, like most other marketplaces, they do it as well. So I mean, everybody heard by now of Black Friday, Cyber Monday, and so on. And About You has a lot of activities, events, like deal events, which we can use as a brand to profit from the marketing that the marketplace itself is doing. So, for example, if you take the fashion week of About You, it's a big boost. And this year it will be, or like last year, sorry, that's the 2020 slide. It was in July, for example. So About You is like using all their different marketing budgets as well to tell the customers like, hey, there will be the fashion week, there will be great things, you should come around. So how smart is that if, as we, as a seller, as a brand, can profit from the marketing advertisements that a marketplace is doing? So if About You is already telling the customer like, hey, or the potential customer, hey, there's this fashion week, come around, check out what's going on. And then we as a brand can tell them like, hey, I'm the brand of friends again. This is my underwear, which is very great, sustainable. Then this is already like jumping on a train that is already driving. And this is like really, really great. But as said, this needs to be planned as well. So, and we are not the only one who want to use this great period of an event. So it's always important to also plan ahead, talk with the marketplaces where it's possible. So for example, if we go to About You, use this brand relations team to understand, hey, what is it that I can do there? How much is the marketplace asking me also to spend? So especially on those deal events, of course, they have a huge demand. All the different brands want to be placed there. And as higher the demand, as higher the costs. I mean, that's unfortunately always the case. But if we can use this demand greatly for us, because there is a lot of traffic, then there's no reason why you should not do it. But always work smart. Always do advertisement smart, because it's nothing worse than spending a lot on AdWords and then it's not returning. And it starts with little things. For example, I had a case the other day where a brand was doing a lot of marketing, but unfortunately they didn't have enough stock. So they had a huge spend. They got the people to the right product page. They got sold in like minutes, but then it was done, because if there's no stock anymore, we can't sell anything anymore. So always make sure also, okay, where am I leading my customer to, so that he or she also has a long-term invest on that or return. Moving from there to Amazon, as I said, Amazon is focusing a lot on brands and on KMUs as well. So if you have a registered brand with one of the countries that are listed here on the side, and Estonia is not on there yet, so that's very important, and keep this also in mind, because Amazon says, okay, if you have a registered brand with any of those countries or regions, for example, if you have it registered with the European Union in the EU IPO, then you can also register your brand with Amazon. The step to do that is very easy. It only says, okay, if you have a registration within these countries, you have a certificate. And in the certificate, it says, dear Mr. or Mrs., congratulations, you have your brand example registered, and this is your registration number. And then you just go with the certificate to the Amazon brand registry and tell them like, hey, I am the case, I have a brand registered, feed in the data, and then Amazon is checking it. You need to prepare some product pictures, you need to prepare some ASINs, like really easy stuff. It shouldn't take more than maximum 10 minutes. And then Amazon is checking it, and then they tell you like, hey, congratulations, Mr. and Mrs., your brand is also now registered with Amazon. But what does that mean? I want to show you on the second slide, because on Amazon, if Amazon sees you have your brand registered, it gives you more tools. In theory, that means it gives you more tools to, on the one side, present your brand, and on the other side, also protect your brand. Let's start with the first one. To present your brand, we have the opportunity, we get more opportunities than somebody who has no brand registry. For example, A+ content, and I will show you in a second how that looks live. A+ content means that we as a brand have more place, more modules as well, to tell the customer why our product is fitting, what is it that our brand stands for, and so on. Sponsored brands, one more thing on A+, sorry. On the A+ content, well, it's not just like showing the visualization, but also giving us more place again to feed keywords, to feed the algorithm with the information of my products. Sponsored brands, and we will talk later about also about advertisement on Amazon. Sponsored brand is one specific kind of cost per click AdWords, which is only available for registered brands. Same goes to brand stores and brand analytics. I think it's better if we have a look at it in the live example in a second. Then you can see what are the different things. Why am I telling you this now? If you are right now in the stage of saying, okay, I'm not sure if I should register my brand, let me double check if I want to maybe register it within the EU as well, then this is a very, very good reason, because if you do not have those tools, somebody else has them, then you have a disadvantage. You have less place to present your brand, you have less opportunities to make AdWords, put videos in. It's really crazy. So double check really this list afterwards. Double check where your brand is registered right now, and if the country of the registration is not listed in here, if you trigger on also the one with the EU, for example, or with Germany, doesn't matter. So you just need to have one to start the registration, and then you get those benefits across all marketplaces from Amazon. So Germany, UK, France, Italy, Spain, Sweden, Netherlands, and Poland now. As I said, on the second side, we also have the protection. It happens that you will have fraud players, that you will have competitors which are not playing fair. You will have competitors putting themselves on your ASIN listing, but they're not supposed to sell that. Then Amazon is not very personal. So yes, of course, we can open like a case there and tell them like, hey, there's something wrong. Could you please help me? But to be honest, the conversion is not always as happy on those cases as we would wish it to be as a seller. But if I am a registered brand, I have higher chances to get everything solved, because Amazon knows like, okay, there is Mr. and Mrs. and they have the example brand registered. So if there's somebody else comes and is also selling a product under this brand, but they are not registered, then Mr. and Mrs. are the one that we should listen to. So we get higher chances and higher support from Amazon to really protect our brand from others, from fraud players, which should not be there. So let's change to the live example, and I will move the screen over here so that you can see this. So I hope that you can see the Amazon DE page now, and I will change to the UK version in a second. Perfect. Okay. So what do we have here? I was searching for a backpack for a kid and 3 years old. This is not a keyword that I made up myself, but it's the autofill. So you see, I get like backpack. Then I said, okay, I want to have kids. And then I got, okay, now we get 2 years. Leading is the same. So what do we see now here? If you remember the slides that we had earlier, it was like, okay, we have the customer, he's entering a search, and now we are on the search result page. So on this search result page, Amazon wants to show me now those products which can best convert my search, because I obviously would like to have a backpack for a kid, which is around 2 years old, to get into a conversion. And you can already see here it's sponsored. Then down here, there's sponsored. Down here, it's sponsored. There's a lot of sponsored, like when scrolling down to this page. And as I said, you see here's a lot of products that are offered to me because the selection on Amazon is big. And there are also known brands, and they need to make sure that I am, as a customer, click the right one. You see there are like 7 results on this keyword. The chance that I will go until 7th page is rather low. So I have the first, maybe the second one, but that's when I either decide to buy something or not. So what we have now here is that we want to ensure that the customer is seeing our brand. So you see this top banner here, where we have the brand Affenzahn. It's a German brand. They're doing shoes and backpacks. I think backpacks, that's what I started with, and a lot of equipment now as well for kids. This top banner here, it's called the sponsored brands. So what you saw earlier on the slide as well. I could not use this one here if I do not have my brand registered. Brand registration doesn't cost anything with Amazon. So you need to have it registered. Of course, that costs some money, but as soon as you have it registered anyway, use this potential, because otherwise you would not have this one here. This example here, or this example brand, they are showing us 3 different products, saying like, hey, I have a backpack and a tiger option. I have a backpack, which is a panda. And then I also have some equipment, because maybe if you buy this backpack, you also would need a water bottle, which is not that bad of thinking. Next to just clicking like different products here, you can also show your brand store. And I will show you the brand store in a second. Down here, for example, those sponsored products here, this is what everybody can do. So you do not need to have a brand registry on this one to get product sponsored. And this is a very smart cost per click. So this product here from the brand, which is called Teeman, they said, okay, I have a backpack here. I can't tell you, okay, how they did it, but they could either say, okay, if there is the keyword backpack, if there's the long tail keyword backpack kids, 2 years, then please put me in there. They could also say, okay, if we get in the category of backpacks for kids, then please put my product here. So the fine tuning of when to place a product on the search result place is very, very granular with Amazon, which is also the advantage for us, that we as a seller can go really precisely, always tune on the adverts or on the advertisement strategy to make sure that I'm really only showing my products to the right customers. If we do not know this in the beginning, we can also use this tool to learn. So we can learn by doing, for example, automated campaigns. So telling Amazon like, hey, this is my product, please automatically put my products where you think it's right. This one is a bit more like less controlled by us, more controlled by Amazon, obviously, but it's helping us to feed data. So we get data on, okay, if Amazon is playing my product on a keyword backpack kids 2 years, then I have a conversion of, I don't know, 20%. I have a cost per click of 40 cents, for example. I'm just making up numbers. But maybe if Amazon is putting me just on the keyword backpack, backpack, then I have a lower conversion and a higher cost per click, which is maybe not as cool. So I can take all this data and then feeding and learning from this data and building up my own strategy by this one. In preparation, I was, let me see if I had some, here you see as well, I was searching for backpack kindergarten girls. There's another brand which is called Ergo Bag, and they're showing me different things that I could buy. And here I went to the Amazon.uk page, let me do it a little bit smaller, entered backpack kids girls. Same here, we have a sponsored brands from the brand Hype, which is showing me different backpacks for kids. And if you go down here, you also see this one, which I think is very nice. It's not there that long yet, but it's presenting me a product from a brand which is called Washi. I've heard of it before. But what is Washi doing very smartly? They show me here a video. Why is this video great? A, it gives me more information on like, okay, why should I buy this product rather than another one? But, and I think this is super smart, I mean, this all looks the same here. I have 4 products next to each other, but then I get something like a break and I see something is moving, something is changing. Okay, this is how I get the attention from the customer. Like back in the days, we had like old big signs saying like, hey, come here, we have discount, we have sales, I don't know what we all have. And this is similar to that. You grab the attention of the potential customer. And this is also possible only if you have a sponsored brand. Let's go back to our example. So I will click on this one here, and I hope that this one has it prepared as I wish it. So we're now on the product detail page. As I told you, on the product detail page, you have different functions to feed the algorithm. So in the key, in the title, in the bullet points, so you have a lot of opportunities to tell the system, okay, what is it? Like, okay, I have a backpack. It's for children. It's for 3 to 5 year olds. It's for kindergarten. Here we get children's again, and also different between children's and children. It's 2 different keywords. And as more as I have of those, as better I can feed the algorithm because I get more variety. On the product pictures, you see this one here also has video. So if you go to the last one, let's stop this sound. It is playing like a little video showing also some USPs of the product. They also have some text in here. And this is only possible if you have a registered brand as well. So you see that's only like 1 brand registry with Amazon and you get those great tools. And video content is like really the new thing and you need to have it on your listings. It's great. I told you earlier as well, so let's stop with the video. I told you earlier as well on the brand store, which is only available if you have a brand registration again. So if we are now here, you see Affenzahn, and above the title it says visit the Affenzahn store. It's always the same, visit the brand name store. And if I click on this one now, it's hopefully leading me to the brand store of this brand. So it gives me like all these great visuals to understand, okay, what is it that the brand is standing for? Because we want to build brand awareness. Here they tell me, okay, we have new styles coming. So it's in German now, or at least the slider is in German. There are some products I could click on. They could guide me here to different sub pages, very similar to your own web store. And you can pick the look and feel from your web store, transfer it to Amazon so that the customer is really building this brand awareness by always, I don't know, seeing the same colors, seeing the same icons, for example, on the pictures. It is limited. So we, for example, could not say, okay, I always use the font of, I don't know, a specific font. We could not change this on Amazon. So we use the font that is here. We cannot say, okay, we have a different one on our page, so we want to put it in our style. This is not possible. I'm not even sure if they want it to be possible, but just that you see, okay, there are limitations. Building this brand store it doesn't cost you something. So Amazon is not saying, okay, if you want to have a brand store, I want to have more money, but, and this is important, of course, you need to build it. So it's not rocket science. It's it's different modules, and you can say, okay, I want to have a banner where I can put a picture on. I want to have 4 products placed next to each other, and then you say product A, B, C, and D, and so on. So you don't need to be good in coding or so, but of course you need to spend time building up the store using the modules. It's compared to like if you have a website built with a web page builder. So no coding is required, but you need to think about and spend time on, okay, how do I want it to look like? Let's say we do not have a brand store. How does that look? So let me pick, I hope I can pick something where we do not have a brand store. Sometimes it's not working because a lot of people have it already. But this one is good. So the customer now clicked on this backpack, which looks also very nice. They also have different pictures here. But now they obviously either they do not have the brand registered or they have not used the tool yet. But you see under the title, it says now brand Xinyamni. I hope I pronounced it somehow right. So if I do not have a brand store there, what happens if I click on this one? I just get back to the product search results list. So that means they just take the brand, put it in the search function up here, and then present products which could fit there. Just the system is doing it. So of course, I had the chance, I had the customer on my product detail page on a backpack that I could maybe bought. Somehow the customer clicked on the brand, and then we lost him again because he was looking left and right, and then maybe coming to realize, oh, I also need something for my bathroom. However that happened, it's still the same brand in this case, but you cannot control it. That's the storyline behind it. You cannot control the guidance of the customer anymore because you lose them back to the product detail page. If you have them here, you lose the customer maybe from the one kind of backpack to another one, but it still remains with your own brand and you have the opportunity to feed it. So long story short, it's an easy tool to build your brand awareness, to build your visibility, to help your conversion. Helping your conversion is helping again your organic ranking, and then the story is spinning around. If I go back to the listing where we have been earlier, so as we said here, you had like the store. I told you earlier also that we have the A+ content. If we do not have a brand registered, we have of course the bullet points here, and then if we go down, there comes a product description. Normally the product description would be just letters and numbers. So it's not attractive. Let me see, maybe this one is a good example. Yeah, this is the product description if you have how it looks if you do not have a brand registered, just until here. So this is not looking attractive. Maybe it's helping the algorithm if you put the right keywords in there, but that's about it. No chance to build a brand awareness because you cannot do it very nicely with just letters and numbers, because as we said earlier, the chance that people are reading is rather low. But if I take the product description with the A+ content, it's much easier because by doing so, I have different modules again. So I can tell them like, hey, this is my logo. Put of course words in here as well, because as I told you, the index is crawling over it, and then it's understanding, okay, there are keywords, putting it into the system. But I can plan out different cool things here, like saying, hey, what are the functionalities of this backpack? Okay, I can pull on tongue, there are reflectors on, there's a chest strap, and so on, which is a cool thing why you should buy this product. And you can also do crazy things like going, for example, in cross-selling. So maybe you want to have a backpack, but maybe you also want to have a case, a suitcase, or a wallet. So this is a great opportunity to also go left and right, similar to your store, but also with A+. A+ and store is independently from each other. You need to build it therefore twice. It's similar from the handling, but just that you are aware of it's again time that you need to spend on it. There are different ways of how you can build this A+ content. I think who's always doing it very good, I hope I can find it in a second now, is for example big brands like let's take Apple for example, iPhone. See, they have a store here again, and if we scroll down, sorry, now I got on the store, that was not what I want to show you, but if we go here on the product detail page, then you see this is also A+ content. So they have crazy stuff here, and always be careful. Sometimes if you're a vendor, you have different opportunities, but these are just pictures below it. If the text is here, you see this will not be scrolled, and they have do cross-selling here, they give you information and so on. And of course, that's a lot of things that you can use that you could not use if you do not have a brand registry. All right, with this one, I would go back to our presentation. But the thing that I really want to tell you, like, hey, this is officially it's not marketing because we don't pay for it, however you want to define marketing. But this is a great opportunity to represent your brand again. And with this one, let's do a little break because I need to go back to my presentation. Give it a second, please. Sorry for the interruption. So let's change to the presentation. I hope you should see it now again, right?
Yes.
Okay,
yes,
perfect.
okay.
So I just copied a few screenshots in here. So because you will receive the slides later, that you still know what we were talking about. I said earlier also on the campaign on the cost per click. So you can have, you can have different sponsored products, sponsored brands, sponsored displays. In the end, it's all the opportunity that you present your product and say, okay, if scenario ABC happens, then please show my product. And if the customer clicks on that, I pay the cost per click. Sponsored products is available for everybody. It's a huge topic. So sponsored product is the thing to be successful on Amazon. Because as I said, yes, you can have the great product, but boosting your visibility is the right thing to get successful. On sponsored products itself, you can do automatic ones, you can do manual ones, you can go on keywords, you can go on categories, you can go on targeting on other products. So it's crazy. There's a lot of things happening. It would really be too much to present it here in detail. But if you're interested in this topic, really dive into it. It's so much fun to do it, because if you understand the topic of this one, then you can sell everything. Sponsored brands, sponsored display, only available for registered brands. Only available for registered brands. And it gives you like the nicer positions, let's call it like this. And with this one, I would move over to Otto and to LIEVD, although they do not have that much yet. So Otto, for example, and also LIEVD, they are not as experienced yet as Zalando, as Amazon, which offer you great big tools that you can do it, but they are in the speed of getting there. So they do a lot of things to also offer you things like, for example, with Otto, they have in-shop promotions. They also have sponsored products, as like we saw it with Amazon just now. And they also have audience extensions to get external customers to Otto, to your products. But they are not as in detail yet. They are not showing as much data yet as, for example, an Amazon does, but it's not a bad thing. So it's a great thing if you are an early adopter on these marketplaces, because it helps you to position yourself already there. It helps you to understand their current tools and also to grow with the development of the tools. Because like all the other marketplaces which are very experienced already, those marketplaces will also get there, and they will also position themselves with different tools, because they know that we need to guide the different products, we need to guide the customer, and there will be loads of things coming new every day, every month, every year. So if you're already there on day one, you have the great opportunity to do so. Otto is not just fashion, it's more on lifestyle. They have a lot of products there, and they have a really increasing selection. I know that Otto is only available for companies who are registered in Germany, but here you always have the opportunity to work with service providers, which we shared last time as well, which can do the translation from the marketplace to from your product to the marketplace, because they have the registration in Germany. I won't go too much in detail into that because it's really like on the go. It's also self-speaking if you're there. So if you start your products on Otto, they do just as LIEVD as well. They have a lot of direct contact. So you will have a person there you can speak to, and they can tell you like, hey, this is the thing that you could do, that's the thing that you could do, and they help you guide through it. LIEVD has also, even I would say, less opportunities to visualize or to push the visualization of your product. But I mentioned 3 of them here. So they also do like pre-financing with external service partners. So let's say, for example, you do not have a lot of, you want to have more stock or so. And I mean, a specific cash flow is of course available. It's not too much into marketing, so let's not focus on this one. Just I want to mention them that you know that you heard of them. So they do pre-financing. They also do legal protection with the German Händlerbund, which is always very helpful. And the third one, that is the important one for marketing, they also start the visualization via sponsored product ads. So the storyline will always be the same. We have customers come to the product search result list, and we want to make sure that our products up top there, top positions, are the ones which are paid, pay for it, get the conversion, and it helps your organic ranking. So the storyline will be really, really similar across all marketplaces. With this one, let's do a little, that's the slide that you saw earlier, let's do a little excursion on the scaling across Europe. Because if you spend already your resources, you bring your products to Zalando, to Amazon, and so on, they have great opportunities to present your products not just to customers who are in Germany, but they have like easy paths or quick paths to also present your products to the other marketplaces. And I will show you why they do this, because if we remember back the flywheel that I showed you in the very beginning, which was on this slide here, the marketplace has an interest of growing their selection, because if they have a big selection, they have great customer experience, and you know what, the flywheel is spinning. So getting quickly a wide selection is easily done, or is really supportive when you help your sellers growing into different marketplaces quickly. So let's say if we sell our products efficiently, or if we list them, let's call it like this, if we list them efficiently in Germany, and Amazon says, and it's they haven't updated the slide yet, or the graphic, then Amazon says like, hey, why don't you, if you get me your products to Amazon's warehouse, remember it's the Amazon FBA, fulfillment by Amazon, then we can also visualize your product easily to France, Italy, and so on and so on and so on. We will help you with the translation. Maybe it's a machine translation in the beginning. It's not the best, but it's helping our selection so that we already get your product there. And when it's there, then you can easily optimize as well. Don't you worry about customer support. Don't you worry about warehousing or logistics, because that's what we do for you. And not just Amazon knows how that works, also Zalando knows us, and about you will also get into that within the next very short-term period. So what all those marketplaces doing is pretty smart, because they want to have your selection on all the countries that they are live. You as a brand also want to have a lot of customers, and we get more customers if we open ourselves up, not just for German customers, but also for customers who go to Amazon.fr or to Zalando. And you see like the different endings then of the countries. So by using the logistic of a marketplace with ZFS or FBA from Amazon, Zalando Fulfillment Services, it's easy to scale within those different locals of the marketplace, rather than you taking care of like for doing your own web shop there again, doing your own logistics there, doing your own customer support. So it's way easier to scale rather than scaling it yourself. If you start the fulfillment with FBA or with ZFS, dive deeper into the topic, understand, okay, in which locals are those marketplaces, because it's a great opportunity to get quickly from A to B and to C and to D. On the topic of social commerce, let's do a little dive in there, this one as well. I said it would just be like a little teaser so that we talked about it, because I think it's a really, really great time to talk about it at this moment. Because what do we have? In the digital commerce world, there are different hubs where customers are and where we can buy something or purchase. So first, and this is going like in the ranking of the sites at the moment. So yes, there is marketplaces. There's Amazon, Zalando, Otto, and so on, where a lot of traffic goes, a lot of customers go there to buy something, and that's logic. So that we want to be there is out of speak. Then there's also a Google. So people still go on Google, they search something, and then they say, oh great, I buy something. For there we use SEO, SEA to make sure that we get listed up high so that our brand is represented there. Google shipping is another topic. Shopping, sorry, is another topic. Then price comparisons there. Okay, how do we get customers when they are on Check24, when they are on Idealo, to get them to our products? And the third one is the social networks. Social networks is like the fastest growing hub that we have right now, and also the one where you can have a cheap return, because Google AdWords, everybody knows that the keyword trousers blue is super expensive by now, because a lot of people are on that. So the cost per click is tremendously growing. Social network, it's not there yet because not as many are using it. Yes, it will develop, and you will see in a few slides that it also developed, but going forward, this is changing. So the social networks itself are the golden standard nowadays, especially for those brands that are growing fast, because we can easily get the customer, quick from where they are to get them to our products. And the good thing is the customer or the target to our customer is crazy, because we can guide them, because we can see, okay, on the social networks, I mean, let's be honest, we are all super, super transparent. So how easy is that to guide the right customer to my products? And let's not talk about demographics, age. I mean, it's going more and more crazy. I mean, we all know the funny stories of people, and that's like really over the top now, but people realizing that they're pregnant when going like on the search result list, just making fun. But the good thing is, like with the social networks, you have the opportunity to build a fan base there. You have the opportunity to really build fans for your brands. And if you have fans for your brand, then it's super easy to also return this invest into a purchase, because you can always repeat with them. Reasons why you should profit from that. I mean, of course, we have millions of people daily active on Instagram, Facebook, Pinterest, YouTube, TikTok. I mean, there's a lot of things going on right now. Clubhouse just came. And the good thing is we can really go granular on getting the right customer. So not just saying, okay, I want to have a female person who's located in Germany and is in the age of their 20s. No, we can go even more in detail. Go with people who are in the interest of who followed that, who did A, B, C, D. And this is the so-called hyper targeting. And with hyper targeting, of course, it's like long tail keywords. It's being way more precisely. Like going away from this, I show everybody what I have, just showing it really as a small portion of people, because those are the right ones. We have different options to do marketing there. One is obviously the paid social. It's comparable to what I showed you earlier on Amazon, saying, okay, hey, that's my advert. If you click on it, I pay for it, and so on and so on. We also not just work per click there, but also for impression. Influencer marketing, or also micro-influencer marketing, is crazy. It's going on because people follow other people. If somebody, the person that you think is cool, the person that you're following for whatever reason, and this person is doing something or is recommending you something, then of course it has more value than just getting an ad saying like, hey, you should buy this trouser. And most importantly, also, we can use this data. So by being on social commerce and telling like, hey, this is my brand, you can guide them to your web shop. Of course, you can also guide them to your marketplace listings. That's also fun, because this is boosting it tremendously, your listing. But if we go with the web shop, you can also use the customer data, because if the customer is buying something on your web store, you can use it for CRM purposes, saying, okay, maybe you want to send them a little letter when it's their birthday. Maybe you want to put a little extra into the package. And I mean, there are loads of things that you can do. If you are on a marketplace, let's take Amazon or Zalando, they're all the same. The customer data is only limited available, or you are not allowed to use it. So for example, if the customer purchased something at Amazon, you're not allowed to go to the customer saying like, hey, great, I had the impression you bought something and you were happy. Why don't you come back and I give you 20% if you buy it next time with my own shop? Marketplace don't like that. And if they don't like it, they will prevent it, and it leads to locking, which we do not want to have. Giving you a little impressions on the numbers as well. So you see here the users and how are they like the primary channels for the brand research. So as younger the people you are, so for example, if you take the 16 to 24 years old group, 53% of them are on social networks and using that rather than a search engine like Google. This number is going down, or the percentage is going down as older the people get, but this is also changing. So you see that especially if you are aiming to target those rather young or middle-aged targets, then this is a source where you can easily get them, because that's where they are instead of Google and Co. I told you earlier that the cost, of course, is developing here as well. So you can see that the competition is growing. A lot more and more brands, they are on Facebook, they're more on Instagram, and in US it's more crazy. In EU it's still less pressured, but you can also see on the development in the charts down here that the cost per click, for example, is that's the 2020 data, that they are getting more and more expensive. So when I paid 70 cents in January last year, it was already $1.34 in December, and this is happening, right? This is going on. Also also the CPM it's similar, so it all goes there. But, and this is very important, you need to work smart here. Don't work with the I show everything to everyone, but really use the data that we have there. There are a lot of agencies. I have another slide from Story, for example, which show you, okay, how can you do this? And the CAC target is like the one which makes the most sense, because that's always how we measure on, okay, what is the acquisition cost that I had to get the customer? This is a slide that I got from Stoyo, and you see here, what do? They take the target group, they check, okay, what's the definition of your target group? Who do you want to reach? How do you want to reach them? Specific on that, we build an ad production, get the ad production live, get the customer from the ad to the purchase in your web store, for example. Make sure that the purchase function is also optimized so that the customer who gets like this funnel also buys something, and then you go in like get a purchase, and then you optimize that like going forward. And the good thing is with social commerce, it's an ongoing process. So it's also very smart to get like an expert on this topic that help you to build the logic. And they, of course, they can build case studies. Okay, that's what you invest, that's what you get approximately. But that's the case also. You need to get on the field. You need to go into the time of really playing the game, because that's when you get data, and that's when you can go in the optimization, ongoing optimization. So taking back the slides that we had earlier, sorry, let's add those two here. So what did we see? We saw in the first webinar last week, there are loads of marketplaces. There are loads of marketplaces with different target groups, with different goals, and also with different requirements. So will you take your time, understand which of the marketplaces are the ones that are the right ones for me, the right ones for my products, the right ones for my norms and values and visions, and put your products there. When you decide to go for a marketplace ABC, double check, okay, on the marketplaces, what is it that they need from me, and what is it that I can use from them to visualize my products? Yes, there are costs behind adverts, and that's normal. Everywhere where we work, there is costs, and that's where we boost our visibility. Advertisement is not just helping you in the short term to get the product there visual on the first 2 pages, but it's also helping you long term to increase your organic ranking, and moving forward that you have a stronger position within the algorithm of the system for specific search terms. Branding is a very, very big thing, because if you have a brand, you can have great tools, and not just with Amazon, also with Zalando, with About You, to represent your why on these marketplaces. You have more tools than other people. You have more tools than people who do not have a brand. And it would be just stupid not using that. So really use the advantages the marketplaces are giving, because the marketplaces, they're moving away from this chaotic search results, and they also want to make sure that brands are visualized there, that customers see the brand, that brands are using the tools. So it's a lot of music in this game. A lot of things are changing, but we're always moving more and more towards brands, to more towards direct brands. So use this opportunity. Scaling across EU, as I said, it's super easy if you do it with the fulfillment services by the marketplaces, because they have an interest as well to bring your selection to the other locals they are offering, because it's helping them also to spin the flywheel to get the growth of the marketplaces. So use it to your benefits, use it to get your products there, and then optimize from there. Social commerce, just a little teaser that you see, hey, there is a third big hub in Europe, and also in Germany, obviously, where you can get traffic to your web store, to your marketplace listing, excuse me, to boost the traffic. And if we get traffic from where they are to where we need them to be, that's the easiest way to also convert them into a purchase. Also brought you this slide. You saw it already last week, which is the 3-month marketplace training from the Marketplace Uni. You saw the link in the follow-up email last time, so just for the completion. And with this one, I am at the end of my presentation and would hand over to the second part, which is focusing more on the branding itself.
Yes, thank you very much, Mareike, for these very interesting insights and very useful information, I think, for all who have brands and want to sell them in Germany, but also on the other marketplaces overall in the EU. We have 2 questions. Maybe we take them right now because they are for you. I just take this one from the chat. The question about external traffic. If we get Facebook, Instagram traffic for our brand to the marketplace, say to Amazon, and conversion doesn't happen, doesn't it downgrade us as far as the A9 algorithm is concerned? Isn't this counterproductive to bring this traffic? And there was a follow-up. Because usually customer on Amazon, can you read it too? Can you see that?
I see it.
Okay.
Yes, and I think it's a very good question from Thomas. So let me pick up on this one. And it's absolutely right. The Amazon algorithm is working a lot with the conversion. So as higher my conversion, as higher is my ranking. If I bring now bad traffic to my product detail page and I do not have a conversion, then this is definitely not productive because it's lowering my standing within the marketplace. And that's why I said it's super important to understand, okay, who do I want to attract and what is it that I'm attracting them with to bring them to the right page. So let's say, for example, if I attract them with 20% discount and they get there and they see it's not there, nobody's buying it. So you need to be super precisely on when working with external traffic to bring it to the marketplace, to do it smartly, to ensure that the conversion chance is high. And there are different ways how you can positively influence the conversion chance by, for example, what is it that I'm adverting with? What is it that I'm telling the customer? And is that what I'm telling the customer actually the case then on the result page? So very similar also if you go away from marketplaces, AdWords, it should always be, okay, I'm telling you something and you get something. And this way from telling and getting needs to be very close to each other. And the risk with the marketplaces, or especially with Amazon, is higher if you have a mismatch between those two, because then you get the traffic there, which is a good thing for the marketplaces, because marketplaces, they kind of push you if you bring external traffic, and there are a lot of tools using this as well. You need to make sure that you stay in the allowed zone there. But if you use it wrongly and you get a lot of traffic and then there's no conversion, then this is harming you. So it's a super fair call out, and it's very important to always think about, okay, what is it that I'm adverting on, and put on the glasses of a customer to understand, okay, is this the right storyline? Is there a high chance of conversion?
Okay, I see. Thank you for this answer. We have some more questions. We have some minutes left for questions because the next presentation will start in 5 minutes. So let's take the questions from the Q&A. The first one, is there any minimum account per product using Amazon Prime? No, that's not.
But it's fine. We can answer it anyway. I mean, just a quick one, so that we talked about it as well. Amazon Prime, for example, if you do FBA, or if you also do the it via Prime by merchant, SFP, for example, there is no limitation. You just need to make it smart. So Amazon, of course, is having a price tag on that. So if you want to use fulfillment by Amazon, they say, okay, this is the price tag for it. You pay your normal commission fee, but you also pay the fee for using our warehouses, for example. And therefore, you need to make sure that you're still, like, when selling through this way, that you still are profitable at the end. Amazon doesn't say you need to put your complete portfolio there. You can start with one product. You can start with sorts of your products. And then you can also say, okay, I'm sending, let's say, 20 products, very, very small amount to test it. If it's sold out, it's sold out. Then you're not online anymore via FBA. Maybe if you have your own fulfillment on it, that's good. Then you have a backup. But there is like no contracting saying you have to do it for 2 years and you have to do it with your complete portfolio section. So it's a nice way to also generate learnings, generate understanding of how things are working.
Okay, thank you. And another question, how good is Amazon for luxury premium brands in your opinion? Why? I know that many luxury premium brands are avoiding Amazon for some reason.
Yes, nice question from Mareike. Thank you for this one. And this is also, like, if you look backwards, it was not the case. Like, looking backwards, more expensive brands, they were not on Amazon. Marketplaces were not there yet for like this brand topic, but it's changed, and it also changed for luxurious products. So let's take the iPhone, for example, that we saw earlier. I mean, it's a phone which is sold for, I don't know, 1,000 euro plus, which I think is crazy, but they do it there. And it's the good thing now, because we can also build the story behind our luxurious product. So let's take, we have a luxurious product in cosmetics, for example. There is a reason why it is defined as luxurious. Maybe it's a price, hopefully it's also the content or the content of the product. And we have by now great opportunities to tell our story there with the brand store, with the A+ content. We can limit, we do not have to do FBA. We can also do prime by merchants. So to also preventing this higher return rate. And there are some things where sometimes it's not smart with a very expensive product to do FBA. So the marketplace changed. The opportunities that we get are increasing. And also for luxurious products, we have the opportunity to use Amazon, and we can use it smartly because the target who is purchasing luxurious products are there for sure.
Okay, let's see. So let's see if we can move on. Okay. I see there are no many urgent questions now at the moment, so we can move on with the second presentation of Antje Jürgenstein about branding. Hello, Antje. Are you there?
Hello.
Hello.
I would start by saying thanks to Mareike. You were really thorough, and I think that that was a really good information. I, for example, got lots of more knowledge about marketplaces, and this is a good place for me to continue. So in short. My name is Antti. I'm from Optimist Group, and we help brands to find the love of the people. This is like shortly. I hope in this 20 minutes, many of you find that this time was well invested. And without further ado, I'd like to kick off this session with couple of pictures. I hope you can see that.
Yes.
So, I'm sorry, just a second.
So, probably no one is unfamiliar with the phrase, don't judge a book by its cover. It's a good recommendation, but unfortunately, in most cases, completely useless. Even for these two book covers you see on your screen, the content of which is, yes, it's in a different language, but otherwise it's identical. But you probably agree that one of them is much more attractive. The content seems more exciting, and the book seems more valuable. So I would definitely choose the book from the right side. The way we are able to evoke a person plays a huge role in favoring similar services and products. And thanks to well thought out brand management, we generate gravity for our brand. As a result, our brand is preferred, and sometimes we can charge even higher price for the product or service than our competitors with a similar product or service. So how we look, how we talk, and how we make people feel is as important as the good quality of the product or service.
Now you can see me again, yeah?
Yes, we can see you.
So my name is still Antti, and this costume change was a small experiment to illustrate the importance of paying attention to the signals we give to our audience. So of course, the visual part is only one part. In brands, we call it design, but design should always reflect the essence of the brand. I will start sharing again and come back to the presentation. So I titled my session "Who Cares?" Optimus Creative does just that on daily basis to make brands noticed and loved by the people. That the brands would stand out and they would be preferred, recommended, and if something goes wrong, then forgiven. So these are the three main reasons why you should focus on branding. In following slides, I'll give you one exercise how to evaluate the health of your brand. I will talk shortly about one case which concerns digital marketing in German market, penetrating German market, and I will show you some examples of Estonian brands which we helped before entering foreign markets, export markets. So shortly about Optimus Group. So it all started with advertising agency, and that advertising agency was called Optimist. But we soon realized that we need to have different divisions which have the same kind of philosophy and have the same drive. So we have film house, PR, print house, event marketing, a small IT company, and motion design company. We are also in a process of building our office in Berlin, and we started 2 years ago, but unfortunately, because of the Corona crisis, this has temporarily slowed down the process. So we can't wait when the situation normalizes. So branding is not something which is nice to have. So it can give you a competitive advantage. So we all have competitors, even the products and services which are new in the market. We have some kind of different competitors. And today, when the price level and the quality of products and services in the market are often very similar, the brand is becoming the most important competitive advantage. This is a value that the customer can relate to and to be loyal to, and it generates profit. So we have in local market, we have several examples where there are numbers behind the branding. We have done it with, for example, the biggest brands, Telia, Kalev, Coop. We helped Coop to and Coop Pank to come to local market, and they quickly gain popularity and profit. So how to stand out? The first thing is make yourself visible. But I'm not talking about different outputs, but if you want to make yourself visible, so you have to understand who do you want to talk to. If it's clear who do you want to talk to, then there's already half the battle. The second part, make yourself relevant. So to do this, you need to understand what they want to you fancy. It is important that your product is or service is liked and it has a good quality and everything like that. But this is kind of what I would call hygiene level. So this is the minimum. You need to understand what kind of people are they, what do they value, which is their view of life, and so on and so on, and then you can assess if you whether you can meet their expectations or even maybe do a bit better. This is a part of positioning. Excuse me. So this is a small example with one client. I can't say the name, unfortunately. I hope you understand why. But they wanted to go to German market. So this is maybe it's a bit different. It not concerns marketplaces, but they had their own output. So what we did was step one, creating awareness. I'm talking about digital channels, Google and social media. So the campaign was strategically set in two phases. First, building awareness to introduce the product, and step two was optimized for sales, where we directed the potential interested clients to the website directly to the product. There was also at the same time retargeting implemented for those who had responded to the advertisement, showed interest, and reached the website. So actually the ads worked effectively. People noticed that, clicked and went to explore, but however, there was no large sales. And so this was because the campaign lasted only 1 month. The client decided that this is it. I don't want to do it anymore. So why I'm telling you that it's because German market is very large, but and it has enormous opportunities. But also it means that the attention of the public must be fought passionately and consistently. You have to get focused, and short-term plans don't work. I would say that I would recommend no less than 6 months. Plan had 6 months at least. So it's necessary to increase brand awareness, tell a story, convince, build trust, and then you will get the deals. Now I will come back to branding, and we have created this self-assessment test. So we can share it. I can share it with Anna if you later on, if you want to get the printable version. But this is a good exercise even if you don't want to go to export markets, to foreign markets. think about different elements of the brand and try to be honest. So for a start, brand name. Is it catchy? Is it simple to pronounce? Maybe it's kind of with an Estonian feel and it just doesn't work in foreign markets. Start with that. I have an example later on. About visual identity, assess the features you have. Are they good? Are they not good? Maybe you are lacking something. Maybe not. But do you have great photos, great material, great design? So and that also tactical elements, but it all starts with brand strategy. So the main thing is to understand the people whom you are talking to. Okay, I don't have much time left. Yeah. Then I will show you some facelifts we have done. We have helped. So Mulieres, great brand. They have cleaning products which are safe for the people and safe for environment. This was this is the before picture. So they had great package, they had great design, but as you see, it's all very cluttered, and maybe it's not very good. So even if you want to get the message, then it's a bit difficult to get the main message, and maybe the main message is not the correct one. And so we took it on and cleaned it up, and this was what the after picture. So this is the result. So as you can see, there might be not great changes, like big visual changes, but the feeling changes. Gustav, Estonians probably all know that brand. Gustav has a plan to franchise the brand and make great cafeterias abroad, including Germany. So we made this dust go away and rebranded Gustav to make it more appealing to foreign markets and made it look a bit less Eastern European. So this is the visual result. This is here by accident, but I can talk about it. So this is a brand which sells hydraulic cylinders, and even in that kind of products which are not for the main public, intended for the main public, they also need great material. Even if the main thing is price, then if you have great representation, you are appealing your clients want to buy your product. So we created a facelift for BHC also. So I will stop sharing this presentation. And I will show you to end my session one more case, which went to German market. It was called Kresti bed, and it's beds for children. And the special thing is that they are very well bolstered, so kids are really safe in these beds. So this is the start is in Estonia, but most understand, and who doesn't, then I think it's very clear what we are talking about here. So, can you see that?
Yes, we can see that.
Okay.
But no audio.
You don't hear it?
Unfortunately, no, we don't
Okay.
hear it.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
And let's try it again.
Hei lapsevanemad, aeg on jätta vanad puithellid ajalukku ning valida oma lapsele käsitööna valmistatud voodi, kus pehmed padjad kaitsevad teda igasugu kõmmude ja võmmude eest. Osta voodi nimega Kretsipeed.
Voodi nimi on Kerstipeed.
Osta voodi nimega Kerstipeed, kus lapsed saavad...
Uuesti, Kerstipeed.
He didn't mean to get savage. 2019, but you know the old adage. Such a person with the worst picture. Gotta look deeper, gotta find a stud. My own fam, too bad you're not in it. I'm at the table every night for dinner. You a little salty, better pass a pepper. Go ahead and at me, but I got the paper. Words on my mind, you say hello and I don't look back at my own friends. You guys, you don't know me, and you I'm on the way. Look at the girl, I won't wait. Yes. Gotta move on.
So that was a sample of rebranding. Started from changing the name and the whole visual representation and the materials, and also, I'm sorry, I think and yep, okay, sorry for that, and also the things we have to talk to, so the messaging part also. So that was, I tried to cover many things really fast. I hope you feel that that there was some good information in there, and before I stop talking, I want to thank Leana for inviting. I have to want to also thank Mareike for your session, and thank you for listening.
Thank you very much, Antti, for this very interesting presentation too. I think these are really important points for those who want to go to foreign markets, but also for your domestic markets, of course. But still much more important to take a perspective to from the other side, to see how the others see my brand, how am I visible, are my visuals good? These are really important questions for those for the companies, and it's interesting to see how your perception is influenced by different visuals and different videos and so on. It's really fascinating. So thank you for these insights today. And yeah, I'm sure you can stay some minutes with us to answer some questions. Let's see what we have in our chat. So we have one question from Nele. She asks, are there any differences in branding for Estonia versus branding for Germany? Would you like to answer this question, Andy?
Yeah. In general, I would say no, because we are all people. If we start from the same foundation, then there's not a big difference whether you are in Germany or China or in Estonia. But there could be differences if you if your product is very specific and if you want to target very specific target group. But if your product is, for example, socks for men, then I would say no. It has to be appealing both to German men and Estonian men, and we are kind of in a very similar, have a quite similar taste and cultural background in generally, I mean.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I see. I see there
what
are.
I wanted to say was about marketplaces. So Mareike showed the options, and there was like so many options how to make yourself visible and appealing. Of course, they are maybe more limited because they are in the marketplace. But even limited opportunities are still opportunities. And what I would, for example, product pictures, product design. If you can add a video, it has to have quality. Even description. So even in the description, you can code in it your brand essence. So how we speak. So this is called the tone of voice. And I would leave you with one thought, that there is no traffic at extra mile. So do a little bit more than your competitors.
And I would just sign this one. Thank you very much, Oi, also for your presentation. I think it's visualized very well, that even though we have so many opportunities to visualize our brand, it's very important that we know what is our brand, what do we stand for. And it's the same as if you would talk to 100 people. Just assume you tell 50 people story A and 50 people story B, but it's conflicting, then your brand is not very authentic anymore, and this can be a risk as well, so that people don't want to have your brand anymore. And this is the same also on the marketplaces. So really understand, okay, what is it that your brand stands for? What is your, not just your color tone, but also your do's and your don'ts, and then be really precisely and consistent across marketplaces, across your web shop, and so on, to really have the same story, to be authentic.
Yeah, authentic and honest. Every time we help brands to position them, then I will start by explaining that we are not here to make up some kind of utopian story about your brand, but we want people to. This is something brand owners know, but we have to map out. We have to pick up these most important things and why the people should like us, because it's all about the people. It's not for the board members or CEOs of the company, and we all work for the brand as agencies, as employers, and the owner of the brand also works for the brand. So I would say that we always have to think about that.
Yes, I agree. We have now one more question from Sulev to Antti. Was there any way to measure the success of your rebranding exercise? For example, beds.
So come again. This exercise I showed, this assessment, you mean? Or?
I don't know.
No. Okay. I think I understand what what.
Is there any way to measure the success of the branding exits? I think he means this showcase with the beds, funnels, funnest. This that you showed at last.
Yeah, so I don't know exactly what's the situation with funnest or funnest right now, because there are 70 people in our company, and we are not in every client's process, everybody. But I can tell you. So I told you some examples. For example, with Telia. Because of rebranding, as you know, Telia, Tele2 and Elisa, so the service quality is very, very similar. The product is basically identical, but because of the rebranding, Telia can ask up to 25% more money than its competitors. So this is a number.
Yeah.
Excuse me. With Coop Bank, for example, when they came to local market, they got 10,000 more clients in short period of time, and earned only over 3 million euros profit, more profit in short period of time, compared to Krediidipank, and this is one of the reasons is branding. And yes, there are concrete examples why does it work there, but you know, maybe a good example is that we all had this situation. If you go to a store or a restaurant or some kind of place wearing a suit and a tie, or wearing a sneakers and jeans, so the people, you know, act differently, very differently. So this is the example.
Yes.
Maybe the best, not the best example, but very simple example. This is like, what kind of signals do you give?
Yeah, this is a thing of perception and under consciousness, so you don't even notice it, that you react to these things. And it's really fascinating that it works. And I think you can't underestimate this branding themes and topics, because nowadays it's open competition. The products often look very, they are often quite identical, and you have somehow to stand out. There are very many competitors. You have somehow to stand out and to get this customer to buy your product. And so it's an important component for that, I think. So we are almost at the end of our time. Mareike, would you like to say some closing words to our participants?
Thank you very much. No, I think I would close with a big thank you. I had very much fun this week, or also last week, and I hope that I had the opportunity to show you what is there that you can use and really feel the empowerment of using it. So we are in the great time that we have those tools. I mean, people 10 years ago, they would have wished for that. So let's be smart, let's use them efficiently and also be profitable. So always calculate before you do things, and make sure that you use the right service provider, the right marketplaces, the right tools. I mean, there's a lot of things. Take a piece of paper, take a pen, and really scratch down, okay, what is it that I want to achieve? And what are the things that help me to get there? Special thank you also to Antti. I think it was super interesting to see this branding things, and to understand how a brand can also position themselves, seeing themselves as a person at the end of the day. So thank you very much, and giving back to you.
Thank you very much to you too for this interesting presentation, for these interesting insights. Antti, do you have something to add? That's closing words.
Not really.
There were very much information. I think it was really great, useful information for our companies, and something you can work with, something to think about. We will send the presentations to all participants, and also the link to the webinar where you can review it. And yeah, I can only thank to you both for doing it today, for giving this valuable information to us. And yeah, wish you everything the best, and stay healthy. And maybe we'll see us once more one day. Thank you very much, and goodbye.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.